Will All For One finally merge with Shigaraki and become all of which he intended to from the very beginning? And will he do it in this incredibly sweaty, sweltering, violent match? Well, I guess you're about to find out within the next however long this match goes on for. So back with another bit of All For One. I know you guys are really enjoying the thumbnails lately on the All For One videos, which I'm very happy to hear. The Froppy one and the Endeavor one, yeah, those are definitely pictures that make you take a second look at them when you first see them. So yeah, I've had quite a lot of fun actually making those, and yeah, it really does fill me with joy to see you guys concerned by them, worried by them, given nightmares by them, or the opposite. Some of you love them, some of you find them to be very nice. So hopefully the thumbnail for this video, like I haven't made it yet, but hopefully this one is pretty good in its own way. Can you imagine being a civilian looking for help and then this guy turns up? 7 foot, broad shoulders, looks like he could dunk in the NBA, and he's wearing some sort of saw trap on his head. Something that Jigsaw would make, to put on someone to let them know, hey, just as a heads up, you're gonna die in 5 minutes. But this dude's wearing it on his head voluntarily. Look at that. That Endeavor did not know what his future endeavors held for him when I caught sight of him there. Look at that. Don't you just love being barely into a game and you've got so many levels up? This is one of those best case scenario starts. Koi. Look at that. You ain't going nowhere, brother. You ain't going nowhere. I missed that shot, and watching it back, I'm starting to realize that the oh man, look at that. I'm starting to realize that the big wave, the hitbox isn't as cut and dry as you think it might be. Look at him chugging that like it's happy hour. Okay, I love being somewhere inconspicuous when I know that there's people around me who are going to get pulled in by that. They just have no idea that it's coming. And it's so ironic. I've seen like 1 or 2 Ida players complain about All For One, like saying he's busted and all of this. They're not necessarily wrong. All For One is mad strong right now, and he's getting away with murder. But for the irony of Ida players who have been sticking their nonsense on people for 4 seasons straight without so much as a whiff of a nerf coming in their direction, they couldn't even handle 7 days of this character before they were snapping their gums at how annoyed they were. That is the pot calling the kettle black if I've ever seen it in my life. The game ruining Idas and Togas, who just, it's their job to make everyone else not enjoy the game. They couldn't handle, like, what is it, not even a week of All For One giving them some of the same treatment back before they was calling foul and saying changes need to be made. Look at yourself in the mirror first. I'm telling you that now. The only people who will disapprove of that message are the Idas and the Togas. There are some Togas who know that their character is busted and has been busted for a while. But Idas always try to play off like they're not. Ida, I don't know man, those Ida players, not all of you guys are terrible, but a lot of you always seem to make out like the world's against you and you can't quite figure out why. You know why. Don't play with us, you know why. Man, I can already tell it's gonna wind up some people. But if it does wind up some people, then you were never my audience, because my audience aren't stupid. I do like his alpha as well. Again, the charged up alpha doesn't always go in my favor, but I think some things being more difficult for this character is a plus. Like, you don't want a character to be able to do everything. Look at that, those two died holding hands down there, they were so close. Look at that. I can't believe I missed all that. I was so... You guys don't even... Like I said, this is a replay. But when I was playing this ranked match, this moment right here, I see the Froppy, mess up my alphas, go for a basic combo, messed it up. I was furious. I was furious. Smoke was coming out of my ears. I was sitting there in silence, just like, what the hell? How could I have messed that up so badly? Have someone dead to rights, and you somehow mess it up so badly. I was not happy with myself after that one. Oh, that was such a nice... Look at that. That is what you call big brain plays. I was like, okay, let me charge up this alpha because I know this guy's going to go up there like that and he's going to have to come down. He doesn't go up without wanting to come down on top of me like that. So I basically saw what he did and I said, how about you have this instead? I was really expecting to catch that deku, but clearly it didn't work. Yeah, that was optimistic. Here's a question for you guys. What particular item in this game will, even when there are enemies around you, when you're being targeted, when your teammates are in danger, what item will you see on the ground that will make you forget all of that for a second just to try and pick it up, even though you know it's not a good idea? For me, it is those group heal, man. I will drop everything just to try and pick up one of those. Did you see it there? I used the Shigaraki Gamma. That's what I've grabbed for my choice today, as suggested at the start of the video. It is such a good disengagement tool. Obviously, this deku didn't agree with that. But it is such a great disengagement tool. Look at this guy right here. Oh my god, the basic combo sold me again. This is what I'm talking about with basic combos in this game. Some people's basic combos, you could be there and press square and you're going to hit that guy. You could be right there, where I'm standing right now as I paused it. And yet, I can't seem to land the basic combo from that range with this character. I don't know why some characters have such gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous basic combos, and why some characters have had their basic combos dragged out from the trash. You guys want to see what a real survivor looks like? Look at this. All for One does not die. He refuses. Even in the face of overwhelming odds. No interest in death. Look at that. See you later. Aizawa. Just get out of there at all costs. That Aizawa must have had one hell of a mission, because he was like, I can't even play with this All for One right now. I need to get over there pronto. Look at that. I had to pull out the double group heal here because I recognized that my team were in constant trouble. And then I'm like, oh, it's you. See, what I wanted to do there, when he came out of that, I wanted him to get hit by the wave, but it didn't quite work out for me. But yeah, we looked like we was done for there, but like I said, some good slippery movement, some clever traversing, and a goal. Like I always say, when you're trying to get away, even if you don't think you're going to get away, still have a target area in mind to get away to. If you're running away with no end goal, you're probably not going to get away because you don't have any like end in sight where you want to go. If you have a place you want to go to, your chances of escaping, they rise. It might not mean you survive, but it will increase your chance by a little bit, and sometimes a little bit is all you need. Look at that. Now we're using Shigaraki Assault's wonderful assault. Obviously, you don't need to be pinpoint precise with it, so it's nice when you're just chucking it into the debris there. Trying to land on somebody, trying to make them uncomfortable, trying to make them think twice about being in your space or one of your teammates' space. Look at that. As soon as I saw that dude in the air, go back there. When I jumped up, look. Watch this right here, right here, right here. Look, 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 look. Right here. Right there. When I saw that, oh my goodness. I was feeling a state of bliss. I was like, I know I can hit this. And I know I can hit it hard. Look at that. That is what you call ruining someone's day. That Bakugo was like, what the hell? What the hell? I was loving life just 2 seconds ago. Too much pressure for him there. Too much pressure. See, at this point, I probably could have reverted back to All For One's quirks, but I was just feeling the Assault Shigaraki, you know? When someone's moving around so frantically like that, it's good to catch them out with Shigaraki's quirks because it covers such a wide range. And then eventually I switched back to this guy because I don't even know. I didn't even have a reason. You know when you just feel so confident that you don't really care what you do, you just know that it's going to work out? It's kind of the mindset I was in at that point, you know? I've had my time as Shiggy. Look at that, now he's coming back. I think I brought it out there because I knew I was facing more than one person. And then I switched here because I saw the one person. And there you have it. Very, very, very nice clinical finish there. Made the most of Shigaraki's quirks. And the best thing about that game was I didn't outstay my welcome on his quirks. When I started to feel as if this isn't really working, I would switch. And vice versa, when I thought this All For One stuff ain't really doing it for me, I could also go back to Shigaraki. So there you have it. Right there for your proof. All For One and Assault Shigaraki make a wonderful combination. A very strong combination and a worthwhile one. And if you are playing All For One, then I would highly recommend giving it a go. Because All For One, well, he's always wanted to merge with Shigaraki. So why wouldn't it be just perfect when he finally does? And now we go from that sweaty ace rank field lobby to probably the complete opposite in what is one of the most straightforward matches I think I've ever had as All For One. So obviously I've skipped out the beginning looting because it was literally just that, just scavenging, taking things and putting them into my pockets without any resistance whatsoever. After having some time with Shigaraki, after having some time with All For One, I'm starting to feel as if I understand this gamma thing. I remember when I first was using All For One, I'm like, who's leveling up the gamma first? What's that all about? But I'm starting to see it. You know, it's starting to enter my mind of how it makes sense. Because his alpha and beta, the way they work, you don't need them to be higher than the gamma to begin with. The gamma is the one that benefits the most from the levels compared to the other two. Sure, the beta can reach further and hit harder, but it does a good enough job at low level for the way you mix it in with his setup anyway, provided your gamma is good. And sure, the alpha is stronger the higher you level it up, but even at level 1 it still does about 70 odd damage. So even at the lowest level, it still does what it needs to do. So the only thing that really needs to be bumped up at the beginning is... I told you this was straightforward. Is that that gamma. Because again, the alpha does what it needs to do without much leveling. And the beta, the way you're probably going to want to be using it, does what it needs to do without much leveling. But if you want to make yourself the most frightening AFO you can, it's that gamma which you want to buff up. The gamma which you want to inject steroids into. because high gamma and low alpha and beta still makes you a menace as all for one. So that's something to think about for you all for oneers out there. Look at this Bakugo, he's like, I'm gonna stand and fight. Was it the best idea? I don't think so, but I commend him for going for it. He was like, ever heard of plus ultra, motherfucker? And I was like, yeah, actually, and I'm not impressed. Gorodein Bakugo-chan. So yeah, I do like this all for one. Obviously, I'm expecting him to be. It's so funny. It's so funny that all for one's probably gonna get nerfed before people that really need it. That's what I've already said. What I said earlier in the video. I'm not gonna hammer the nail in any deeper. But you know what I mean when I say that. You know what I mean. Look at this. This is like a prime example of why you should never do Endeavor's Gamma. Unless you have literally went and got your palm read and been told that it's safe to do it in your future. Because if you get caught slipping with that Gamma as Endeavor, oh my days. You may as well just start arranging your funeral. You know, it's funny. I can't remember whose quirk I thought I had there, but I didn't think it was Endeavor's. For whatever reason, I completely forgot that I got Endeavor's quirk. So I'm pressing R2. I'm like, why ain't this fire coming out? What the hell? And then I realized I was holding Endeavor's kit, and I was like, oh, okay then, fair enough. What do you guys think is the single most what's the word? Single most. Basically, I'm trying to say, what quirk leaves you the most open for the least reward? I think Endeavor's Gamma is definitely up there. You know, so what quirk is not worth doing because it's just probably going to mess you up more than anything? What quirk is that in the game, do you think? I think Endeavor's Gamma is definitely up there. Obviously, I know it has its uses and it can be used. Everyone knows most quirks in this game have a use for it. We're not disputing that, but what we're disputing is, more often than not, which one is going to get you in trouble if you use it like a fool. I think that one is definitely up there. Look at these guys, man. They're just causing havoc, breaking people's homes. Me showing up like this and lasering them, it's an act of justice. All for justice. Seeing it here live. Well, kind of live, because this is obviously a recording. And I think literally the end of this game is just us chasing down this Aizawa who does not wanna let it go. He's convinced he can pull this back, just like he pulls people with his cloth, the cloth bender. Aizawa is weirdly one of like the quick one. How can you cancel Uraraka's Gamma? Because I put it out because I thought maybe I could take it further than I could, and then when I realized I couldn't, I just went, okay, time to stop it then. But I couldn't find a button to stop it. I just had to do it. Anyway, yeah, Aizawa is so tricky to follow. Like, if it's a good Aizawa who is confident in his movement, oh boy, he does not want to be caught. He does not want to be caught whatsoever. So there, GG's. One really sweaty, difficult game, and one really easy game. You have it both ways. No one says you can't have your cake and eat it. You just did. Leave a comment, watch the ads, like the video. See you on the next one.